Welcome to another story made by Oracle One. The Café of Silence. Hidden away on a quaint, cobblestone street in the heart of the city stood a small café unlike any other. Its faded wooden sign read simply, Le Silence, and as you stepped inside, you were greeted by an atmosphere thick with quiet understanding, a refuge from the constant hum of modern life. There was no Wi-Fi here, and a strict, no talking policy reigned. Instead of chattering conversations, the café buzzed softly with the sounds of careful page turning, the scratch of pencils on paper, and the faint clinking of cups. Every afternoon, the sun filtered through stained glass windows, casting kaleidoscopic patterns on worn wooden tables. Locals cherished this hidden haven, a place where they came to reconnect with their thoughts and indulge in the art of silence. Among the regulars were two figures, always present but always apart. Elise came every day, ordering the same hazelnut latte without milk. She settled at the far window table, her raven hair pulled into a loose bun, a notebook always open before her. Yes, she was a writer, but on these precious afternoons, words were not for others, they were for herself. She scribbled snippets of poetry, fragments of stories, or sometimes just doodles, her brow creased in concentration. At the counter, Jacob brewed espresso with care. The café's owner but also its barista, he moved with deliberate grace, savoring the ritual of coffee making. His dark eyes often flickered toward Elise across the room. There was a softness in his gaze that he tried to hide beneath the practiced calm of his quiet job. Their connection grew over months, though their lips never parted. It began with glances, brief and hesitant. When Elise looked up from her notebook, their eyes would meet, lingering a moment too long before they both quickly looked away. Each glance was a silent hello, a wordless message exchanged amid the café's hush. Jacob, with a secret hope, started leaving little notes beside Elise's latte. On one crisp autumn day, he placed a small square of parchment next to her cup. In elegant cursive, it read, "The silence here is louder than any word." Elise looked up, startled, her pulse quickening. She tucked the note inside her notebook, feeling a flutter she hadn't known for years. The next day, she returned the gesture. She prepared a tiny slip of paper with her own response. Words feel safer when unspoken. Jacob found the note before his afternoon shift and read it twice, smiling. A quiet ritual was born. Days turned to weeks, and their notes grew longer and more personal, yet still anonymous to anyone else. The café's other regulars became curious but respected the private conversation unfolding in silence. Elise's evenings were once lonely, but now they brimmed with anticipation for the next handwritten message from Jacob. She found comfort in the secret dialogue, a slow dance of affection played out in ink and paper. Jacob, meanwhile, narrated the routine of café life through small drawings, a steaming cup, a blooming flower, a moonlit sky, accompanying his notes. One afternoon, Elise left a note that read, "When will we share a silence together, side by side?" Jacob's reply was swift. "Tonight, at closing. Meet me by the back door." As the café emptied, the heavy hush deepened. Elise locked her notebook and slipped her coat over her shoulders. Heart pounding, she moved toward the back door. Jacob was already there, leaning on the doorframe, the fading light haloing him softly. For the first time, their eyes held each other without diversion. 1,000 unspoken words shimmered between them. Elise smiled shyly, then something bold stirred inside her. She stepped closer. Jacob's hand reached out instinctively, brushing a stray hair behind her ear, his fingertips lingering. Their breaths mingled in the cold evening air. Under the soft glow of the street lamp, they shared a quiet moment of connection, language unnecessary. The café's silence was no longer a barrier, it was their bond. Jacob finally whispered, barely audible, "I've wanted this for a long time." Elise nodded. Me too. From then on, their ritual evolved. They sat together, side by side, still talking not with words but with gentle touch and shared silences filled with meaning. Le Silence was no longer just a refuge from noise. It was where two souls found each other, proving that love could bloom even without a single spoken word. For more stories, like and subscribe.